The Council of Elrond has been finished. I finally got through this chapter. It took me 2 sittings to do it, but I got through it. And as I've said before, it's the exposition dump to end all exposition dumps. It is one of the longest, if not the longest chapter in all of Lord of the Rings. And basically, it's to decide what to do with the ring. Ultimately, they choose to destroy the ring by sending it into Mount Doom, and Frodo volunteers to be the one to do that. And let me tell you, this chapter did not need to be as long as it is. At one point, when Gandalf is telling his huge story, he's just like, oh, I'm going on way too long. I'll wrap up the rest of this. And then he proceeds to talk about his favorite horses, and everyone at the council agrees that he's got the best horses. So it's a little bit ridiculous, but there's a lot of stuff that I enjoy in this chapter too. The biggest one is this atmosphere of doom and gloom that comes up as they talk about Saruman betraying them and all of this other stuff. And they realize that this quest is incredibly futile. Unlike other fantasy stories, the heroes aren't like, we can do it, guys, we've got the power of good on our side. In this, they are keenly aware that they are likely to fail, but in spite of all that, it's their best choice of action, because if Sauron knows that they have the ring, he'll probably reckon that they're going to try to wield it. But he doesn't know they have the ring, and he definitely doesn't assume that they would ever seek to destroy it outright. So they're using futility as a cloak, as Gandalf says, and while we're getting all of this story about why they have to do this, we're also learning a lot about Middle-earth and getting sneak peeks into what's coming. We hear about Rohan and Isengard and Minas Tirith and Moria, all these places that are going to be huge to the story later on. And we also hear about Gollum in this capacity, how Aragorn and Gandalf together were trying to track him down over the course of years so they could interrogate him and learn whether or not he had the One Ring. And I don't like this section because, again, Gandalf, it just occurs to him out of the blue. Wait, maybe there's another way I can test if the ring is the One Ring. So he's just like, bye, Gandalf, or Aragorn. And then he runs off to Minas Tirith to research it, and then he finds out, oh, yeah, I totally don't need Gollum at all for this. So again, I have to bring it up. Why didn't he try this decades ago? But anyway, we also hear about the Eagles, and they are a much worse issue if we're talking about logical consistency in Lord of the Rings, so I'll leave that alone, though, for now. Basically, the adventure is set, we've met the Fellowship, we're ready to go, the adventure is finally ready to really get on its way, so follow along as I read the rest of Lord of the Rings.